All right. So again, Karpov.
Karpov with black against Tukmakov. Very
Okay.
interesting because Tukmakov was almost his age. I mean, more or less the same age with Karpov. Also very talented grandmaster, young enough in that time. And they play a very important game at the Interzonal in Leningrad, I think in 1973.
Yes.
And Spanish defense and normal line for white and for black. The Breyer variation with black with knight b8 finally. c3 castle, h3, and here knight b8. Knight b8 is then very popular in that time. You know, many grandmasters played like this. The alternative is knight a5 for rook e8 and h6, you know, different a little bit, but, you know, many possibilities. So knight b8, okay, d4, knight b d7, and here it starts again, c4. This is more or less new. Normal is, of course, knight d2, knight f1, and so on, you know, complicated, but is, you know, theory. c4, white tries immediately to get the initiative, but it's not so easy. I mean, you don't play in a few moves, you take immediately the initiative. It's possible, of course, but it's okay. It's another line. So c6 and bishop g5. All right, that was the idea. After bishop g5, h6, and now bishop h4, and now he can transpose. I mean, knight h5 is very good move because now you are forced to trade the bishop, you see. Okay, so he takes, and now it's clear. Black has a good possibility to come immediately with the knight in f4. If he has time to arrive in f4, it's very good for black. I bet black is a little bit better, always, you know. So now he threatens to change the plan, of course, but white doesn't have anything here. Even if you look the position is okay for black, always some small advantage in any position, you know. So knight c3, maybe even here was a little bit better to play knight d2 and knight f1. Okay, even if black is okay, but it was probably better than the game. So b4, and now knight b1, that is a little bit too much. I mean, even here, knight e2 was necessary. You know, knight e2, okay, a little bit better for black again, but not so easy.
Now, why do you think
But
he
now,
can?
I mean, he wants to come to c4 with tempo. You know, knight b1, d2, c4. That is the idea. You know, to come very quickly on the queen side and on the central squares. You know, but it's move by move, and black is playing here. So okay, so he played knight f4, a good move. Knight d2, and here he took. Yeah, very good move. He took. Now he forced to take. No, and knight e5. Well, after knight e5, he realized black is better, you know, and he tries to, you know, to trade some pieces, you see. Now, very simple, queen f6, no? Now, he's threatening already c5 with advantage for black, you know. So he took in e5, and knight f5. Why knight f5? Because if he played normal move, it seems normal move, knight f3, it's clear that black is better, but if it's much better, that is another question. It's much better, you see. For instance, instead of knight f5, knight f3, yeah?
Yes.
Rook d8. And now you have to move the queen. You see, queen c2. Okay. And after queen c2, knight takes h3 check, and you can resign with white.
Yes.
Not only that you lost a pawn, but you are almost mate here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so he realized it's very bad, and he played knight f5. He tries to have some tactical tricks, you know. That is already better for black, clearly, you know, but if it's enough or not is another question, you know. So, okay, bishop takes, and now has some tactical possibilities with white, you know. But again, it's very good knight from f4, and therefore black is clearly better. I mean, has initiative and some attacking chances, you know. So queen f3, rook d2. Well, immediately black is coming, you see. All right, so he played rook e3. He took the pawn immediately, you know, rook e1. And now, what could he, I mean, he plays rook e8, and now rook e4. And now you can't take in f5 because you lose immediately after rook takes f4, you know. This is the idea. If you take in f5, rook takes f4, and you are lost with black.
Yeah.
So you have to, to play well until the end. Knight d5, okay. He centralizes the knight, better for black. And here, queen g3. Okay, now what to do? Again, knight c3, very good. And black wins something, he wins the exchange at least, because he's threatening check in e2 in all these variations. He's threatening the rook and checks there. So now the game was like this: knight e2 check. I mean, he took, and here probably was the last moment where black could play something else. I don't know what did they say. Instead of rook b7.
Another variation, you mean, or
Yeah,
something?
they recommended something here. Well,
Yeah.
rook b7 is, I don't know. Okay, I don't remember. Maybe queen g4 was a little bit better, maybe. But okay, rook b7. Now the situation is forced after rook e7. I mean, he gave check. Now king there and king f1. That was the last moment when black could go wrong here. He played rook d2. I mean, in this position, he could go wrong with rook e4 or rook b2. And we have to look now. For instance,
rook e4?
Yeah, rook e4. Now again is very nice. Is fantastic move here for white. Queen g6 check. Look what a move, Queen g6, I'm praised. Now how do you play? If you take with the pawn is perpetual. If you take with the queen,
Yes.
Yeah, he takes, and then bishop c2, and probably you lose with black because you lose a piece. Or it's draw. The end game is draw, but better for white, because the a pawn is always very dangerous. So the nicest way to do it was with bishop with the rook in b2, With the rook in b2 is the same idea. It's now rook b2, queen g6 check again, Perpetual, if you want to do something. Or if not,
okay.
Yeah, the same way to do is with rook g8 check. I mean, bishop g8 check at the end, And now rook f7 check. Bishop takes f7 and he takes the rook and draw again.
Yeah.
So right, Karpov played rook d2 and black resigned. He played well. Rook d2. Rook d2. After here, rook d2. No, rook d2.
Yes, rook d2.
And after rook d2, he's exchange up and black resigned. Well, interesting until then, but I told you, one tempo. If he's not careful at the end, he can, have such a trick, with queen g6 check, which was beautiful enough to save the game,
Yeah.
Very tactical. That's okay.
We'll see.
I mean, it wasn't played very well by Tukmakov, very risky in the opening, he took too many chances and gave too many possibilities for black, But okay, interesting theoretically, and the game, good enough.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.